Ideally, if there's going to be tables, probably would have tables in here. Ideally, so we're making videotapes.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Ideally, we'd keep the art up for August time frame. We don't have August booked just yet for artists, so we don't know like how imposing it's going to be. If it's something which is like a physical thing, sometimes we have sculptures and things like that, we deinstall it just because we don't want to get broken.
And we have physical things that we need to go
Totally.
with. So.
Totally. If it's something like this, I mean, I think that we could just have your stuff in front of it, because there's very little impact from the art. It should be fine if we block it during the day. So upstairs is kind of like business entrance for events. I'll show you over here. Bathrooms over there. Through here for events like this, typically we've done tables where we do like a row through here, like whoosh, 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 along here, along that wall, sometimes over there. This is our silkscreen studio. I'm not sure if we'll be using it for this. Probably not.
Probably not.
I can give them an open even.
No,
Alright,
okay.
okay. So we can block that with tables also, provided. We might have open session or class rotated or something. But you
Well,
should.
you have to figure something out just to identify those people.
They come in through that door.
Okay.
They come in through that door specifically. I'll figure.
Could we determine ahead of time if that needs to be used?
We will. Yeah, we'll know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Front door. So this is where people come in. Typically, what we'll do is put like a sandwich board out front, being like entrance around the corner, poster or whatever. You can use this thing here if you want to take money. We can also roll it backstage. It's on wheels. Sometimes put tables in here, even though everybody has to see them. I kind of think people think it's kind of a shitty place to be as far as tables go, just because like you walk in and you're not oriented yet.
Yeah.
So we tried not to put people there.
For our event, we'd definitely be using it as an entrance,
Yeah.
any sort of day of tickets, and
Okay.
we might have one table in there,
Cool.
but it wouldn't be like selling or display.
Cool. Concessions here probably wouldn't be open. Really don't care if you bring your own concessions and put up a thing in front. Totally fine. Otherwise, we put more tables over here. We had to be kind of sensitive to the gold records. Just basically having people removed from them, like so they're not knocking them off the wall.
But we could put tables over here and just be careful of the records. Cool.
Totally fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, should have done it first.
Adds to the suspense.
The ambiance, the reveal.
I may have to turn it off when I was upstairs. Oh, sorry, there we go. So this is our show. Yeah, for this event, I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to set it up. These booths are movable. We can move them backstage. Sometimes what we'll
they
do
are?
is, yeah,
Oh.
sweet. You can push them.
Oh,
The
I
ones-
thought they were like, the bases were like concrete or
No.
something like that, and I was like,
They're shockingly light.
Okay.
Typically
So
what we
used to
do-
having booths built in.
Yeah. Typically what we do is, like, if we do a row along that wall, the booths that are half booths and not that full thing, we'll push it, we'll like push it up against the wall so people can just use it to sit there.
Yeah.
And have it be bench seating. These ones we push into the back.
Yeah, because you were thinking probably like this room for vendors and things like that, and that room would be more like the gallery space.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
definitely with vendors, we'd end up having them around the edges
Yeah.
and then
Maybe a little
probably
island in the
something
middle or
in the
something.
middle.
It totally depends on how many vendors you have, like how the space gets situated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a shit ton of vendors, typically we have like 25 vendors in here when we've done events.
We might not even have
It's-
that many.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
It gets pretty tight in here. And we've gotten a lot of kind of negative feedback from vendors because they're just certain places that are hard to get to. So you want it to be as open as possible. Either doing like a big like thing where it's all the way around if you have that few vendors. Sometimes, well, we can talk about those details later.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of different opportunities or a lot of different options for how to set up the room.
Yeah, and like I said, we probably won't have upwards of
Yeah.
25 vendors.
Yeah.
We'll probably have like 15 tops.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Depending.
So yeah, this can be kind of arranged however you want. Everything in here is movable, basically. Obviously, except for the sound booths. But like, we don't care as long as they're in the back. As far as couches, booths, benches, shit like that, tables.
Are there stairs that go up to the stage?
There are backstage.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have stage, if there's any kind of performance, that's totally usable. I think I mentioned this before. If we're using sound of any kind, have to hire a sound engineer also on top of the house manager.
No, I don't think we would agree.
Okay. If necessary, we can do projections. There's a screen that comes down. Yeah, or you can put people on the stage if you want to. We'd probably bring in some kind of stair option. Are there any other questions about the room?
What about up there?
You said that
We'll walk through up there.
Oh, okay, okay, cool.
You said that it's up through there that the handicap accessibility is?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the green room. Typically for events like this, we've done like classes in here as one thing, like any sort of small presentations that might be happening. Also, if we don't want to use it, we can just put stuff in here. You know, we can put the booths in here and keep backstage a little bit more open.
Yeah. And I think we were thinking maybe just using this as like a hangout space for people.
Totally fine.
So, because we tend to have people that we're just hanging
Congregate,
out.
yeah.
It'd be nice to have a separate area for that.
That's totally fine. You can bring snacks in here, whatever you want. Oh, that's pretty much it in here.
Yeah.
Cool. No hate zone.
We're actually gonna lock it this way. So this is backstage. The day of event, you can shut that. You can shut that right. We'll go back up there. If we're getting tables delivered from South Center, which seems like we probably would, just because it's the simplest way to do it, and it's the cheapest way to do it. They'll be back here. So we also would probably put the booths back here if you're using them as a hang-out space. Technically, we need to keep this clear because it's a fire exit. If there's some stuff here, it's not a big deal, to be honest. Yeah, and then so people will be loading in through here. So you need tables out before people are loading in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there's not going to be enough room. Well, depending on how many tables. There probably won't be enough room to load in big things and have tables and chairs back here because they come on pretty huge, like, movable platform things.
Yeah.
Cool. So artists. I guess that's not the right way to put it. Vendors will load in. Have to pull up to this corner over here. Where I'm guessing the folks came in. Pull up to that corner and then load down this ramp. We're gonna hand truck. You can bring your kind of lamp or something like that, or cars. But we can't drive on to the campus. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Like boxes and stuff like that. It might have more different ways and stuff.
It depends on we have a hand truck. They honestly, like, we cannot keep hold of them. Like, they come and go. With the, so many artists coming through and, sometimes artists leave them outside and South Center picks them up. We just, I can't honestly say that we'll definitely have something. Mm-hmm. Most of the time we have either a cart or a hand truck, but they come and go. So.
If we need one, I can bring one in from work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
I figure we can do it at home.
I can bring a power jack somewhere.
this is for.
Love my
This is
job.
for ADA where people come down.
Okay.
I'll show you really well where I come from. There's that. That's all tech stuff. We'll go upstairs.
Oh, space there.
So this is a recording studio. Probably wouldn't use it for this event. Could theoretically, if necessary, or if you're interested. We just clean all the stuff out of it and use it for another place for classes and stuff like that. But
We use it
honestly, we
as
prefer
bathroom.
not to use. This would be the room we'd least like to use.
Which I think we'd only be using for people coming out of the lift.
Yeah.
Is what we'd ideally want to use it for.
And so that's where people would go down.
Yeah.
Everybody can go. it's technically ADA access, so we have to keep it kind of mostly clear.
Yeah, I don't think we'd have anybody up here except for like our staff and anybody that had to use like ADA.
Yeah, I don't think
access.
there really is typically not a reason to,
Yeah.
to get here.
Yeah.
Much rather not have people just hanging
Yeah.
out up here.
Yeah.
We can go through there. We can stop at the conference room and just over to the right there. And if you want to go into the, I'm going to go grab a computer.
Okay.
Folks want to go into the conference room there. Is that locked?
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you get that stuff ordered, Jeffrey?
Yep.
Okay, guys.
I just printed out a receipt for it in the printer.
Cool.
This is probably where we'd have like panels or something.
Yeah.
Oh, panels.
Do we have people sign up for panels?
Maybe.
Because it's with size restraints. You don't want them lining up in circles around things.
That wouldn't happen.
3-hour line.
Yeah,
but, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
I wonder if, should we have some sort of like command base, like,
We will.
Yeah, see, that's
For
what I
this?
was thinking, the recording room or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah,
central.
like we probably have something backstage or something. for
Yeah.
command.
So this is conference room. It's basically a room with a table in it, projector. We can use it for classes, things like that. I don't know if you're offer. I just keep saying classes, classes, workshops, just because it's something that people have done in the past.
yeah.
You don't have to use it.
Which we are thinking of using it for like kind of a panels, classes type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you want to talk other stuff, or is that it? Are there any other questions?
That's about it, unless you guys have questions.